Welcome to Xtra, presented by VDG Sports. I am your host, Vince Douglas Gregory. No filter, very censored. You can follow Xtra on Twitter at Xtra VDG. Be sure to follow Xtra on Twitter at Xtra VDG. Check out the website as well. That is xtra.vdgsports.com. xtra.vdgsports.com. There's a YouTube as well. VDG Sports. Everything is there. Like, subscribe, share, do whatever it is you do there. Do whatever it is you do there. This episode is not being sponsored by VinceDouglasGregory.com. VinceDouglasGregory.com is where you can keep up with me. And I'm going to keep it short. All things Vince, and something new is afoot. Something new is coming, so I suggest you just go ahead and check out VinceDouglasGregory.com. Everything is there, and this episode is not being sponsored by that. Noobs, thank you for giving me an opportunity. Thank you for giving me a chance. That's all I ever asked for. That's all I ever want. Regs, we back at it again. You know we got the special bond. You know I do this almost every single day, but I'm just going to say it's every single day today so it can be unique and different. So it can be unique and different. Now, I came across something, or I actually did something, and this was a while back because I needed time for it to breathe. I needed time for it to breathe, and then I mentioned it, and I went back and I did it again. I went back and I did it again because I needed to make sure that what I was experiencing was correct, to make sure what I was experiencing was the experience. And then I needed some time to think about it. Then I needed some time to rationalize, get my thoughts together, to complete some thoughts, to try to understand. And I think that I've come up with what it is. That's a shout out to you, Manny. Keep doing you. Keep being Manny, because it's Manny being Manny. It's Manny being Manny. And no, you are correct. My voice is a little raspy, and that's because of the supporting and the cheering and the fandom that I've been doing over the past couple of days. It's finally caught up to me. So yes, that is correct. You do hear and notice a difference, and it is what it is though. I gotta keep moving. I got to keep moving and not get blinded by the shiny objects. I needed time to think. I needed the time to gather my thoughts and to figure out what was going on and basically be able to put my finger on it. And I think I've come up with it. I think I've come up with a nice plan of action that fits the situation at hand. As I was saying, I brought this up. I mentioned this before. It's something about going back and rewatching a movie, going back and rewatching a TV show that at some point in time you thought was good. At some point in time you thought was amazing. Now, if you can recall that TV show, recall that movie, and accept in your head and accept to yourself that, wait a minute, this probably wasn't all that good, then you okay. You're fine. I am not talking about you, but you can continue to walk along this journey. You can continue to walk along this journey, but I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about you, and that's the other you or we. Uh, and that's not the yes. That's me included. That's me included, by the way. The rest of us sometime recall a TV show, recall a movie that we in our heads still think that is good or decent. And we go back to confirm that it's good and it's decent, only to, you know, only to be extremely disappointed, extremely upset, extremely out of focus. How did this occur? How did we miss the mark so bad? And if I'm not making good decisions, if my decision making isn't that good, how did I get this far? And you start questioning everything and you go down that rabbit hole and you go down some more rabbit holes. I'm here to tell you I've been down most of them and I'm here to help. I am here to help because I've been down most of those rabbit holes. The one thing, or the one of the many things, and this just got to be first. This got to be first. It's not the best, or it's not the only one, and it's not the worst one. So I mean best by worst. You shouldn't, and this is free advice. Free advice. Free advice, free advice, free advice. Angelic, bird like voice. I'd suggest you not attempt to rewrite history, meaning you go back and you, for whatever reason, continue to either justify that it's still good today, present day, or basically say, nah, I think it's okay. Go ahead and be a truth teller. Go ahead and be honest with yourself. Don't rewrite history. You thought it was good then, and the truth of the matter is, it is terrible now. It's okay. You've experienced personal growth. Not only that you are being honest with yourself, you're able to learn from your mistakes. You're able to see some of your own flaws. You're able to notice that you ain't got no clothes on. Go put some clothes on. Or you notice that your breath stink. Go brush them teeth. Go brush them teeth. Or get you some gum. I'd suggest you brush the teeth. And if that doesn't work, you got some more deep rooted, deep seated issues that I can't help, and that is going to call for a professional. And I don't have to make that make sense because it makes sense both ways if you think about it. You're welcome. You're welcome. You shouldn't, and I suggest not to try to rewrite history and make something bad good. Go ahead. Wear that wrongness like a badge of honor. Go ahead. Wear that L on your forehead like it stands for lucky. Go ahead. Puff your chest out and say, I ain't got to learn today because I learned yesterday. I learned. And then you don't necessarily have to go down the other rabbit holes of trying to figure out why did you think it was good or amazing or great in the first place. That was ages ago. That was ages ago. You can't go back to the future and tell your younger self that, hey, that's not, mm-mm, that's not, mm-mm, that's not, mm-mm. Because if that was possible, you wouldn't be able to go back into the future anyway because you wouldn't exist because that plane, that dimension that you just altered or that line, it ain't there no more and that's not you. You're welcome. Don't go down that one either. Go ahead and accept it. Wear it with a badge of honor. Say, yeah, I know, I know. Then again, if this history, if these historical records only go back a couple years or so, then that's another problem. That's another problem that I really can't help you with, but I got some suggestions. I got some suggestions. Have you thought something that was good 2 years ago and it's not good now, or a year ago and it's not good now? I'm just gonna say, keep that same opinion. Hang on to it. Hang on to it, and you continue to think that it was good because who knows? 5 years later, it might be, it might age well. Another 5 years later, it might grow on some folks. Another 10 years down the road, it may be something that they're talking about that it didn't it wasn't perceived as this amazing piece at the beginning, but now it is a classic work of art. Who would have known? And then you can sit there, go in the room, point your finger at everybody, do your little dance, not the happy dance, the money dance. Do your little money dance, point your finger, spin around, throw your shades on, and say, I knew, I knew from the beginning. Peeps look at me like I ain't had no sense. But you know what? I got sense. I'm just so far ahead of you that it took you 10 years later to catch up. So I'm just going to go back into the future and I'm going to leave you with this. And you hit them with some gold nugget. You hit them with some bit of information that only you know. And as I'm saying, I can't really say this from experience. This is what I imagine it would be like. This is what I imagine because I ain't been in that position. I ain't been in that position, and I'm probably not going to be in that position because I I I know when something's bad. And if something's bad, it's gonna stay bad. And when I do and watch and consume bad things, I know what I'm doing and it's fun bad, or it's me being so far into the show, so far into the movie, I must complete because I'm a completist. I must finish because I need that ending. I must I must get to the I must get to the end game because why play the game if you don't want to get to the end? But it was that bad. I could learn something. But what are you going to learn? I'm going to learn some character today. I'm going to learn some character today. And this to say, this also can be the notion you watch something early on, something as a kid that was good, and you know for a fact that it is still good today, then I suggest, you know what? Go ahead. Smell them roses, smell them flowers. Do what you need to do to feel good Do what you need to do to stroke that super ego. I'm not talking about the ego. The ego's fine. It can do what it do. I'm saying do what you need to do to stroke that super ego because you knew, you found, you lucked into something that aged well and something that's still good and something that's gonna help you take more risks, take more chances on watching something now and hoping, wishing and wanting that it stay good, stay relevant, or you cannot give AF. You cannot give AF. That works too. That works too. All of these rabbit holes and all of this thinking and all of this processing, this information, and it just led me to a lot of things. Some of them I mentioned, but the thing that stood out the most, I personally watched a lot of bad to great movies. I kid. It's the bad or the great movies that able to remember the most. The mediocre, who remembers mediocre? Mediocre, the meh, those go right over your head. They are forgettable at best because that's what mediocrity brings you. And that's the end game. That's what you learned today. It's gonna be good, it's gonna be bad. And if it's good, you know what to do. And if it's bad, you know what to do. And if it's somewhere in between, don't worry about it. You're not gonna remember. But let's just hope this ain't a year or 2 years. And if that's the case, I can't help you. But I got some free advice and some suggestions. Whether you listen or not, that's on you. I'm just the narrator. I'm just the narrator.